5-minute Fridays. I am just about to start my 5-minute workout for today. All you're going to need for this workout is something soft beneath you. So grab an exercise mat or a yoga mat if you have one. If not, a towel may suffice. If you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, you may not need anything at all. There are timestamps in the description box down below the video, so if you would prefer to just skip straight ahead to the workout, you can go ahead and use the chapter markers to do that. But if you'd like to see the exercises demonstrated and explained before we begin, let's go ahead and get into that right now. There are 5 different exercises. All of these are body weight exercises. We're not lifting anything today, so you don't need any equipment whatsoever to follow right along. So the first exercise I'm going to be doing is a plie squat. It's just a sumo squat with your heels lifted up off of the mat. If it's too difficult to lift your heels, you don't have to. Really, you can do any squat variation you want. Whatever squat variation you do though, just to make sure that you're minding your form. So with your squats, you always want to make sure that your shoulders are back and down. So visualize tucking your shoulder blades into your back pockets. That's also going to help you keep your chest lifted nice and high, which is what we want. And then you want to think about hinging at the hips. So tighten up those ab muscles, like someone's about to come along and punch you in the stomach as hard as they can and you're bracing for that impact. Then push your booty back. Think about trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty. At the same time, remember you're keeping your chest lifted nice and high. So you're also trying to touch the wall in front of you with your chest. You're elongating your spine. The point is that you want to avoid rounding your back. We want our back flat and we want to keep the weight in our heels. So you do that by tucking your shoulder blades into your back pockets, lifting the chest, pushing the booty back so that when you squat down, your knees are not tracking over your toes. Hinge at the hips, push the booty back, back stays flat, weight stays in your heels. And then from here, you can sink down into your squat and you can do any squat variation you want. That's just a basic air squat. So you can be here if you want, you can add a leg lift or a kick. You can do a sumo squat with me. That just means that I'm going to start with my feet a little bit wider apart and my toes are angled out slightly at about a 45-degree angle. So they're not facing straight towards you. They're also not facing the walls, kind of split the difference, 45-degree angle, more or less. And then I'm going to lift my heels up off of the mat. So instead of the weight being in my heels, the weight is going to be in the balls of my feet, but it's the same concept. If it is too difficult to lift your heels, you can just do sumo squats, okay? So feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, toes angled out slightly at about a 45-degree angle, and you can do your squats like this. I'm going to be lifting my heels, so coming up onto the balls of my feet, and then I'm going to sink down into my squat with my heels elevated, and then press the balls of my feet into the ground to stand, and then I'm going to place my heels down with control. So you want to do your best to make sure every aspect of the movement is under control so that from here you're not just falling down. Really control the movement, make sure you're placing your heels down with control. So that's my squat variation. If it's too difficult to do with your heels elevated, do any squat variation you want. That's our first exercise. The second exercise is a one-leg deadlift. So again, with your deadlift, you want your shoulders back and down. So start by tucking your shoulder blades into your back pockets. Chest is lifted high. You want your abs super strong and tight and engaged. And again, you're gonna think about hinging at the hips. So think about pushing your booty back. And again, you want your back flat and the weight in your heel. So you're going to pick up one foot and you are going to hinge at the hips, keeping your back flat, keeping the weight in your heel. So make sure you're not rounding your back. Tuck the shoulder blades into the back pocket. Chest is lifted high. Also make sure that you have a slight bend to this standing leg. You are not actively trying to straighten this standing leg. Do not lock out your knee. Make sure there's a soft bend to the knee of your standing leg. You're hinging at the hips and you're just going to come down and you can tap the mat in front of you if you can. You don't have to, all right? The point is not to tap the mat. The point is just that you are keeping your back flat, keeping the weight in your heel, hinging at the hips. As soon as you come down as close to the mat as you can without pushing your body past its limits, you're going to press your heel into the mat, hinge at the hips to stand. Super simple exercise. If you're a beginner, you can hold on to a chair or the wall for support. Just make sure that whatever you're holding on to is strong enough to support you. Make sure that it's sturdy so it's not going to collapse or fold up or break when you put weight on it, and make sure that it's stable so that it cannot slide from underneath you. So if you want to set your chair on the mat beside you, that might work, or if you have a second mat, just make sure that if you're using an elevated surface to support you, that it is strong enough to support you. Make sure it's sturdy and make sure that it's stable and it's not going to slide from underneath you. I don't want anyone to fall and get hurt. You can also do the deadlift with both feet on the mat if you want. That's fine, or you can just do a good morning if you need to keep both feet on the mat. Absolutely fine. But I'm going to be doing a one leg deadlift, and then I'm going to be going right into an assisted pistol squat. Now you don't have to do your pistol squats assisted. If you're strong enough to do your pistol squat unassisted, then from your one leg deadlift, you can just swing this back leg to the front and do an unassisted pistol squat. Go for it. I am going to be doing my pistol squats assisted, so that means I'm going to keep this foot behind me. So from my one leg deadlift, I'm going to hinge at the hips to stand, and I'm going to keep this foot off the mat. And again, my shoulders are still back and down, my chest is still lifted high, my abs are still strong and tight and engaged. I'm going to push my booty back. I'm going to keep my back flat, keep the weight in my heel as I come down into my pistol squat. So this back foot is here to assist me. This is an assisted pistol squat. So use this back foot as much as you need, but challenge yourself to use it as little as possible. So you see I just kind of tapped it down there at the very, very end. And now as I stand, I'm going to press my heel into the mat and reverse the movement. And I'm going to try to use this back foot as little as possible. So I'm going to try to lift it up off the mat as quickly as I can as I come up out of it, all right? So coming down into the squat, and now using my back foot as little as possible. So I'm going to try to pick up this back foot as early as I can as I come up, pressing this front heel into the mat, and stand, all right? And then from there, I'm going to go right into a side lunge. So this foot is still going to remain lifted off the mat. So doing my deadlift and my pistol squat, and then I'm going to step to the side with this foot that's already off the mat, take a step to the side, and come down into my lunge. So again, shoulders are back and down, chest is lifted high, abs are tight, and as I step to the side and come into that lunge, I'm pushing my booty back, trying to touch this gate behind me with my booty, trying to touch the wall in front of me with my chest, so that my back is not rounded, flat back, weight in the heel of this lunging foot. I'm going to come down and tap my toes as I come down into the lunge, but again, you don't have to. Work to your own level. If you need to shorten up your range of motion, that's fine. It's not important that you tap your foot. It's important that you're keeping your back flat and keeping the weight in your heel. So if the only way you can tap your foot is by rounding your back, then don't worry about tapping your foot. Keep your back flat. Keep the weight in this heel. So if you need to just tap your knee, that's absolutely fine. And then once you have come down as deep into this squat, lunge as you're going to, press this heel into the mat to straighten this leg and stand, stepping your feet back together. And then the fifth and final exercise is just going to be a duck under, super simple. So you're going to imagine that there is an obstacle here going right across the middle of your mat, and you need to duck underneath it. So again, what am I gonna say? Let's say it together. Shoulders back and down, chest lifted high, abs tight, flat back, weight in the heels. So as I take a big step to the side, I'm going to push my booty back. I'm going to be trying to touch the wall behind me with my booty, trying to touch the wall in front of me with my chest. The weight is going to stay in my heels, and I'm going to duck underneath my imaginary obstacle. So I'm going to duck down as low as I can, and then come back up. Super simple. So that's it, that's all 5 exercises. And then from here, I'm just going to repeat those first 4 exercises on the other leg, and then do another duck under to get back to the other side of my mat. And we're just going to keep going back and forth. All right, so now that I'm on the other side of my mat, I'm going to start with my heels elevated sumo squat or plie squat, whatever you want to call it. Heels down. Now, I'm going to pick up the opposite foot for my deadlift, so it's always the foot that's closest to the outside of the mat that's staying planted, just so you remember which foot you're on. I'm going to pick up my inside foot for my deadlift. Keep this foot elevated. Now, pistol squat. And side lunge. Bring the feet together and duck under. Super simple. That's all we're doing. So we're just going to complete that as many times as we can during a 5-minute countdown. So I think that's all pretty simple. Hopefully everything is clear. Please remember that I always take the time to type out the instructions in the description box down below the video, and I'm going to do the entire workout right along with you. So watch me do it, read the instructions, but then of course, as always, if anything is unclear with the format and how everything fits together, if you have any questions about these exercises, or if you have any doubts about how to do the exercises correctly, if you need help with beginner modifications, I'm always here to help, so please just ask. It's really important that you understand how to do the exercises correctly before you begin the workout, so that you reduce your risk of injury, and also just so that you make sure you're getting the maximum benefit out of each exercise. This workout is super short, so we want to really maximize the effectiveness of each exercise, and you do that by minding your form. And you guys know it's also incredibly important to me that all of my workouts are always accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to do them with me, so I'm always here to help facilitate that. Just don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions or if you need help. I also just want to remind you before we get started, especially if you're going to be working out along with the video, to please make sure you are going at your own pace and minding your form. All right, as important as it is that you understand how to do the exercises correctly before starting the workout, it's equally as important that you are actually applying that knowledge during the workout and doing the exercises correctly. So make sure that you're minding your form. Yes, the point is to do as many reps as possible during a 5-minute countdown, but not at the expense of your form. So if you find that you're racing through the exercises because you're just trying to go really, really fast so you can get a great score, if you are capable of going faster than I am, great. If you're in decent shape, you most likely will be faster than I am, as long as you're not doing, or it's not losing anything off of your form to get there. But if you're racing through because you're prioritizing speed over your proper form and you start to get sloppy, then that means you need to slow down. And if you're racing to keep up with me, please don't do that, all right? If you're slower than I am, just be slower than I am. Racing to keep up with me is going to mean that you're likely to push yourself into doing something you're not ready to do. You're increasing your risk of injury, and you're increasing the risk that your form is going to get sloppy. So if you find that happening, it means you need to slow down. It doesn't matter if you're slower than I am, it just matters that you're doing your best. So please just do your best and let that be good enough. Your best is always good enough. Make sure you're modifying the exercises as needed, resting as needed, and make sure you're not sacrificing your form for speed. Hopefully I have covered everything. If you're ready to go ahead and start the workout, grab an exercise mat or a yoga mat if you have one, if not maybe a towel. Again, if you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, you may not need anything at all. Pause the video, get dressed, and then meet me right back here. We're going to start with a quick 5-minute warm-up, and then we'll get right into the workout. All right, so as soon as you're ready, let's get started with our 5-minute warm-up. So you're going to begin by just allowing your head to fall towards one shoulder, and then place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. Make sure you're not actively pulling your ear down towards your shoulder. You're just allowing gravity to do all of the work of gently stretching the other side of your neck. So your arm is completely relaxed. You're just using the weight of your arm to stretch your neck. Other side, so allow your head to fall towards the opposite shoulder. Place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. Your arm should be completely relaxed, and make sure your shoulders are relaxed as well. Don't let your shoulders be hunched up here by your ears. Shoulders should be back and down, away from the ears. Now we're going to do some head rolls, so start by allowing your chin to fall towards your chest and then towards the opposite shoulder and back. And each time you roll your head from one shoulder to the other, just start feeling your head get heavier and heavier, allowing your range of motion to increase until finally your entire torso is just falling down in front of you. Your arms should be nice and loose like a rag doll. Now we're going to do some shoulder rolls. So just rolling the shoulders to the back, or you can roll them to the front. It doesn't matter. The point is just to loosen up those shoulders. So really exaggerate the movement. Explore your full range of motion. Make those circles as big as you can. Now extend your arms out to the side, and we're going to do arm circles. Starting small. Again, it doesn't matter if you make your circles to the back or the front. The point is just that as the interval progresses, you want to start slowly expanding your range of motion, making your circles bigger and bigger, until finally you're exploring your full range of motion, making those circles as big as you can. Feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Bend the knees and sweep the hands down in front of you. As you straighten the knees, you're reaching up towards the ceiling. And each time you bend your knees, you are expanding your range of motion a little more, sinking deeper and deeper into that squat. Now keep your feet planted right where they are. We're going to lunge, side to side, nice and easy. Adding the arms. So with each lunge, I'm reaching across my body, like you're trying to throw your arm across the room. Next, we're just going to march in place. So you're going to step the feet in towards the middle, and just march. Easy peasy, Georgian wheezy. Starting with your knees low, but gradually you want to start driving those knees up, higher and higher towards your chest, until finally you're driving your knees up as high as you can. Feel a nice little stretch in your glutes. Now we're going to jog in place, and we're going to do the same thing, starting with the knees low. But as the interval progresses, you're going to start driving your knees up a little higher, until finally you are driving your knees up as high as you can towards your chest. Next is booty kicks. So now with each step, I'm bringing my foot behind me. Really try to kick yourself in the booty with your heel. For this next one, you may need to hold on to a chair or the wall for support. That's fine. If not, you can just have your hands on your hips, pick up one foot, and just swing the leg front and back. Nice and loose. You're going to do the same thing on the other leg. So you'll put this foot down, transfer your weight, pick up the other foot, and just swing the leg front and back. You can start low, and then gradually you can start increasing your range of motion, swinging that leg higher and higher. Fight for that balance. We're going to switch legs again, so put this foot down, pick up the other foot, extend the leg out in front of you, and then just bring the leg around and behind you, making a little semicircle. Each time you make that semicircle, lift your leg higher and higher, and then for the final two, we're going to do a hip circle. So drive the knee up towards your chest. Use your hand to guide it around, other side. So extend the leg out in front, bring it around and behind, lifting your leg higher and higher each time you make that semicircle, and then finally drive the knee up in front of you. Use your hand to guide it around for a hip circle, finishing with a quick hamstring stretch. So you can use the wall or a chair to assist you getting into this stretch. Might make it a little bit easier to keep your back flat, which is going to maximize the effectiveness of the stretch. And that's it. That's our 5-minute warm-up. So let's go ahead and get right into the workout. As soon as you're ready, here we go. I'm starting my timer in 3, 2, 1. This is 10 seconds to get ready. So start towards one end of your mat. We're going to do a sumo squat with our heels elevated. So feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Lift the heels and now sink down into your squat. Press the balls of your feet into the mat to stand and place your heels down with control. Now we're going to do a one-leg deadlift. So pick up one foot, hinging at the hips. Make sure there's a soft bend to your standing leg. Keep this foot elevated. We're going right into an assisted pistol squat. Using that back foot to assist you as much as you need, but as little as possible. Now lunge to the side. Tap your toes if you can do so without rounding your back. Press this heel into the mat to stand. Bring the feet together and now duck underneath your imaginary obstacle. Again, keeping your back flat, keeping the weight in your heels. All right, so that's one set. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side. So stepping the feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Lift the heels. Come down into your squat. Press the balls of your feet into the ground to stand. Place the heels down. Bring the feet together. Pick up your inside foot. Make sure you're switching legs for your one leg deadlift. Keep this foot elevated for your assisted pistol squat. Press the heel into the mat to stand. Keep this foot elevated again. Step to the side for your side lunge. Feet together. Duck under. All right, keep going. We're just going to do that as many times as we can before our 5 minutes is up. So lift the heels. Squat, lower the heels with control. Make sure you're not just dropping your heels down. Make sure you're controlling every aspect of the movement. Deadlift, pistol squat, side lunge, duck under. Sumo squat. If it's too difficult to do the squat with your heels elevated, just keep your feet flat on the mat. That's absolutely fine. Deadlift, pistol squat, side lunge, and duck under. Make sure you're working to your own level. Please do not push your body into doing anything that it is not ready to do. So if you need to modify any of the exercises, that is what you should be doing. If you need to hold on to a chair or some other kind of sturdy, elevated surface for support, that is what you should be doing. And make sure you're going at your own pace. You don't want to sacrifice your form for speed. So if you're faster than I am, fantastic. As long as you're not losing anything off of your form to get there. But if you are slower than I am, that is also fantastic, because how would you even know that you are slower than I am unless you're out here putting in the effort, doing the reps with me? So if you are slower than I am, that's great. Be slower than I am. Go at your own pace. You never want to sacrifice your form for speed. Keep fighting for it. I know it's getting hard, but we got this. Sumo squat, heels down. Pick up the inside foot. Make sure there's a soft bend to your standing leg. Do not try to straighten your leg there. You don't want to lock out the knee of your standing leg. There should be a soft bend to your knee. And duck under. Squat. Deadlift. Make sure you're keeping your back flat. Make sure you're keeping your chest lifted nice and high. Keep those abs strong and tight and engaged the whole time. And remember to make sure that you're always keeping your weight back in your heels. Sumo squat, deadlift, flat back, weight in the heels, pistol squat, flat back, weight in the heel, side lunge, and duck under, and that's it. That's our 5 minutes, we did it. Nicely done. We are not quite finished yet. No workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee. So we have just 1 rep left to go. If you are a beginner, I will walk you through how to do a beginner bonus burpee. You're going to start standing in the middle of your mat. Now bend down and place your hands flat on the mat in front of you. Step your feet back so that you are in a inclined position. Now knees down for the push-up if you want to include a push-up. If If you don't want to do a push-up, you don't have to. Step the feet back in and stand. Come up onto your toes for a calf raise if you can, and if you want, you can try to add a little jump. If you are not a beginner and you would like to try to do the push-up from your toes, let's go ahead and do one final bonus burpee and then the workout will be officially complete. So here we go, whenever you're ready, final rep of the day. All right, with that, the workout is now officially complete. So let's go ahead and do a quick cool down together. You can just pace around, shake out the arms, shake out the legs. You just want to keep moving while you allow your breathing to normalize and while you allow your heart rate to come down a little bit. So keep moving and keep focusing on slowing down your breathing. So if you're out of breath and you find that you're breathing shallow and your breath is up here, your chest is rising and falling, what I want you to do is visualize your diaphragm being pulled down so that you're making space all throughout your entire body, filling up your entire body with air. So feel your rib cage expand. Think about sending the breath all the way down to your belly button. And then use your diaphragm to push the air out with control. All right, so let's do a quick shoulder stretch, even though we didn't really work our shoulders. It's just a stretch that I like to do with my cool down every day. Just bringing one arm across my body, using the other arm to pull it in tight to my chest. Make sure your straight arm is completely relaxed. Make sure the shoulder is relaxed. If your shoulder is tense and hunched up by your ear, you're not going to be able to stretch it effectively. So make sure the shoulder's relaxed. Shoulders should be down, away from your ears. Shake it out. Let's get the other arm. So bringing the opposite arm across your body, using your other arm to pull it in close to your chest. Feel that stretch in your shoulder. Your straight arm is completely relaxed, shoulders relaxed, and you're continuing to move. I always just kind of shift my weight from foot to foot, but you can shake out the legs, you can pace, whatever works for you, and make sure you're continuing to focus on your breath. Long, slow, deep, controlled breaths. Send that air all the way down to your belly button and push it out with control. Let's do a quick tricep stretch, so bending one elbow. Place your hand on your elbow and gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder, making sure that the fingers of your free hand are pointing straight down at the ground. You don't want this hand to be hanging out up here somewhere by your shoulder. So make sure you're pointing those fingers straight down at the ground and just gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder. Feel that nice stretch in your triceps. Keep moving. Keep working on slowing down your breathing. Shake it out. Let's get the triceps on the other side. So bending the opposite elbow. Place your hand on your elbow and gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder. The fingers of your free hand are pointing straight down at the ground. You're moving and you're focusing on your breath. One more deep breath here. And shake it out. We're gonna finish with a quick hamstring stretch. So if you struggle with balance, you can hold onto a chair or the wall for support. You're just going to bend one knee, bring the foot behind you, reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands. If you're not holding onto something, if you're holding onto something, you can just grab on with one hand. So you can hold on here and grab on with your other hand. But you just want to grab a hold of your foot and press your heel into your booty cheek. Really press it in there so that you feel that nice stretch in your hamstrings. As you do that, you want to tilt your pelvis forward. So you're going to feel like you're tucking your booty underneath you and visualize trying to touch your spine with your belly button. Keep pressing your heel into your booty cheek as you do that. As soon as you combine both of those two elements, you're going to instantly feel that stretch intensify as you isolate your quad muscles more effectively, but you're also going to feel that stretch extend up into your hip flexor. So come out, other side, bend the opposite knee, reach back, grab a hold of the top of your foot with one hand or both hands. Press your heel into your booty cheek, really, really press it. And then make sure you're tilting your pelvis forward, tucking your booty underneath you, sucking your belly button back towards your spine, and make sure you are continuing to focus on your breathing. So more deep breaths here. Keep tilting your pelvis forward. Keep pressing your heel into your booty cheek. Feel that stretch extend all the way up to your hip flexor. And come out. One last time. Shake out the wrists, shake out the arms, shake out the legs. That's it. That's our little cool down. So if you're still breathing heavily, if your heart rate is still elevated, that's fine. Just take a couple more minutes. You can continue to pace around. You can do a little more light stretching. That's great. Just remember that this little bit of light stretching that we do during the cool down does not take the place of a proper stretching routine. It's still really important to make sure that you are taking the time to stretch every day, 15-20 minutes. More if you can. If you have time to do it right now, immediately after the workout, is always going to be the most efficient and the most effective time to get your stretching done because your muscles are already nice and warm from the workout. But if you don't have time to stretch right now, that's fine. It doesn't matter when during the day you get your stretching done, just as long as you're doing it. Just remember that if you do put off your stretching until later on in the day, your muscles will have gotten cold again, so you're going to need to take a few minutes to warm them back up. Your muscles need to be warm in order for them to be pliable so that you can stretch them safely and effectively. So please make sure you're taking the time to stretch every day, and please make sure that you are doing so safely. But that's it. That's all I have for you guys today. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did this little 5-minute workout with me today, thank you so much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. Thank you to everyone who has been working out with me lately. And even if you are not doing the workouts with me, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. It truly does mean the world to me. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. And of course, a great big thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. Please know that I appreciate you all so very much. One final reminder that if anything is unclear with the format of today's workout, how all of these exercises kind of fit together and flow, if you have any questions about the exercises that we were doing today, if you have any doubts about how to do these exercises with the correct form, or if you need help with beginner modifications, please remember that I am right here, so please just ask. If you enjoy these little 5-minute workouts and you would like to see more of them, please remember that I have an entire playlist of 5-minute workouts on my channel. I will link it right there, and we will be continuing to do these 5-minute Fridays every week for the foreseeable future. So that means that I will be continuing to bring you at least one new 5-minute workout a week, every week for the foreseeable future. That is going to do it for today. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone, and I will see you all right back here on Monday. Bye.